everyone, and welcome back. I hope that you're all doing well. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you very much for doing so. If you haven't subscribed as yet, please go ahead and do so. Leave a comment, like and share. You know, sometimes when we think back on our past, it can either put a smile on our faces, make us cry, or put us in a state of confusion. A lot of times I sit down and I think back on my younger life and I question myself and I say, why did this happen to me? Why was I sent there? Or why did I meet this person? But guess what? That is all in my past and I may never get an answer to those questions. Sometimes people will say you're allowing your past to hold you back. No, you're not allowing your past to hold you back. But some things that happen in your past, it is left unresolved. So you live with questions because even though you may never get an answer to those questions, those are things that live in the back of your mind and you wonder, what if this didn't happen? Or what if this had happened? You know, so they are just questions we live with and it is our past. So of course, we're not allowing our past to hold us back, but they are questions that we live with because as I said before, they were left unresolved. One of the best times in my life was when I lived with my grandmother. We lived alone, and in some ways she treated me like an adult. And when I said she treated me like an adult, I don't mean that she exploited me in any way, but the way she communicated with me, the things she shared with me, she taught me how to cook, and the stories she told me will live with me forever. But there are parts of my life that I wish I could forget. You know, the other day, someone looked at me and they said, you see your face? And I wasn't pleased with the person, and it had nothing to do with the person. It is just that those words reminded me of my past in a negative way. I can remember growing up, adults would look at you and say, you see your face? You say you're dirty? You know, see your one beard? You say your teeth big? You say your foot dry? Go sit down on the back, move for yourself, and all those kind of things. And adults don't realize the kind of negativity they are feeding to their children. Adults don't realize how much their negative words can stifle children and keep them down for a very long time. Because I can tell you something, it took me a very long time before I was able to express myself or communicate my feelings with anyone. And all this is just because of the kind of environment that I grew up in. I remember I used to stay with this lady and she would look at me every time and say, you saw your gum black? What did my gum ever do to this lady? I have no idea. I remember sometimes you'd be at people's house or your parents' house and somebody come to your parents. If you think you're bad, go and peep. And sometimes they are talking and you were already there before the conversation started and they look at you and say, go on the back, you saw your fast, you smell your arm, you think you're a man or you're a woman. What kind of argument is that to be telling a child? You know, and when you think about it, at the time it really hurt you as a child, but now even as an adult, it hurt you more to think that people who should be helping you to understand life, help you to communicate, help you to reason, help you to find out who you are, you know, they were treating you like that and throwing those kind of words at you. You know, a whole lot of people that you hear cursing bad words, it is not that they want to curse bad words so much, but their vocabulary is limited. They weren't taught to express themselves any other way. So instead, they curse bad words and they raise their voices instead of raising their words. What you're going to do? They don't know any better. Thank God for schools and teachers, because if it wasn't for teachers, some of us wouldn't know anything. Because some parents, they don't care to teach us anything, and some parents, they don't know any better. And when you think about it, I'm talking about years ago. But when you look around us today, you still see some parents who leave their children with neighbors, they leave them with grandmothers to do nothing at all. Take the time and teach your children, because when children reach adolescence and reach teenagers and they realize that they don't know anything, some of them just turn to badness, some of them turn to crime. The ones who have the resources and the desire to go on, they will push along and help themselves. And sometimes some of them can't go further either. They stay stagnant because there's no foundation there. And if you don't have any foundation, what are you going to build on? Parents, we have a job to do. If you cannot do it by yourself, seek help. Some parents didn't finish school, some didn't go to high school, and some didn't attend college. but there are a lot of resources out there, and sometimes some of your neighbors, they're educated and some of them mean you well. Ask for help and help your children. Communicate with your children. Teach them to express themselves. Help them to communicate with you, to express their inner feelings. We may not have had the opportunity, but we can do it for our children. As always, thanks for watching.